What's going on, everyone? TallenV back here, and today we are back for another Dokkan video, and today we are going to be doing an Extreme Super Bad Road guide, but we're going to be talking about the Extreme teams, okay? So this is going to be a part 1 video. Part 2 will be over on my friend Nolar's channel, who just happens to be here with me. Nolar, go and say hello, man.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on, and this will be kind of fun.
Yeah, this will definitely be interesting. So, if you guys don't know what Extreme Super Bad Road it is the craziness of Super Bad Road times, I don't know how much, just a ton, basically, all right? I want to get 2 things out of the way real quick before we go into this team building guide here and just give you some ideas on what characters you can bring on the side if you don't have all top tier units, okay? First off, we cannot talk about every single card in this guide. It's literally impossible. We'd be here for like hours upon hours, and you guys don't want to be here for that, okay? And number 2 is if you cannot take this on right now, that is okay, all right? You will be able to eventually in the future, because if you remember OG Super Battle Road, the original ones, a lot of people could not beat it when it first came out. And a lot of people to this day still think that normal Super Battle Road is, the whale mode and no one can beat it and everything. Well, guess what? All original 10 stages now on Super Battle Road can be beaten completely free to play. All right. So the extreme side of it will happen eventually. Give it a few months, and I guarantee you more and more of these stages will become beatable for most of the player base. Okay. It will take some time on some of the other ones, but overall, I think, just give it time. All right. If you can't take it on right now, just take a step back from it and you'll be able to beat it eventually. Okay. Anything else to add to that, Nolar?
No, I mean, you're right. Like when Super Bad Road first came out, unless you had like top tier boxes, it was a challenge. But over time, they released specifically free to play units who were really good for the mode. It took time. It took you get 1 month or something like that. So it took about a year before you had all stages potentially beaten by free to play. And we have seen it done. The old Super Bad Road can be done free to play. I mean, again, Super Bad Road is all about RNG sometimes. Sometimes Team Bardock's going to super you 5 times in the first slot. There's nothing you can do. But eventually they're gonna come out with free to play cards and some summonable cards that are going to be really good for Super Battle Road and specific typing. So just hold out and you'll be fine.
Okay, so with those little kind of side mentions out of the way, let's jump into the first team. We're going to be going with using an Extreme AGL team. Okay, so this is facing off against Super STR. All right, so here on the wiki, they've laid out the units that you will be facing off against, because again, there is some RNG to the units you can go against. On the first stage, as you can clearly see, you've got either all the Bardock squad, the Z Fighter squad, or I don't know what Hercule, Videl, and Boo is technically called, the tournament squad?
World Tournament. Yeah, because that's good for what's his name? Demon King Piccolo.
Yes, if you're facing off, if you're going against, if you're using extreme tech, he will transform automatically with the Hercule being there, which is really nice. So anyway, so this will be your first stage. It's going to be one of these 3 no matter what. Then the second stage is going to be a group of 2. So either Piccolo and Gotenks, Gohan, Goku, or Great Saiyaman 1 or 2. Stage 3 is going to be Vegeta Trunks, or Vegeta Trunks. It's going to be one of those 3, just whichever one you see in front of you. And then the 4th stage can be a set of 5 again, which is going to be Goku family plus Vegeta family, Goku trio, so that's Goku, Gohan, and Goten, or it could be Super Saiyan 2, Goku, and Vegeta, and Piccolo from, I believe, technically that's supposed to be from like the Android. I don't really know. That one's supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right, so with that being said, obviously Extreme AGL has to be the team that you use against this. Let's go into the team builder and take a look at what I personally used and some side units, and then Nolar, give me your thoughts and opinions on some of these units, okay?
Okay.
So first unit right here is going to be AGL Zombies. This guy is absolutely a must for taking this stage on, because he does 2 things right. 1, he is an extreme types, key +3, stats up 120%, and Realm of Gods, HP and attack 170, defense 130. So if you run him as the lead, while pretty much 90% of the rest of the team is not getting that Realm of Gods buff, they're still getting the 120 lead, okay? And he mitigates damage. He's got one of the best transformation mechanics in the game, an amazing unit, and he actually can block. Bring him. Bring him if you can. Next unit is going to be the Super Android 17. He is still a very good unit to this day. If you need to bring him as either the friend or as the leader, if you don't have Zomus, that's completely fine. That's still stats up 120, which is really, really nice. And he mitigates damage by 40%, and he gains attack every time he is attacked. So he can actually decently hit pretty hard. Just, obviously be careful. Everything. Okay, LR Baby. I personally do not have, but I brought him along as a friend. And he worked out really, really well. It worked out really nicely for us, and it was definitely really good. He can go Great Ape, which can save your butt a lot. And when you're facing off against pure sand category enemies or half sand enemies, then he gets even more attack buffs, and he lowers attack on his super attack, which is really, really nice. That's definitely really good. Janim Baby. I recognize a lot of people do not have this card, but Janim Baby is an extremely really good card right now since he got his Awakening. Heals you the moment he comes into battle. Attack and defense up 80% and a high chance to dodge. Very, very helpful when it comes to this mode. And then Darkness Toa. Darkness Toa is a support unit for extreme types, which is really, really helpful. And she can heal you once completely if you're below 30% HP, which is very, very nice. And then the final card that I personally brought myself was the Extreme Awaken, or EZA Broly, the AGO one, the Fury one. He was off rotation, but if you get him with some additionals and getting hit a few times, he can hit decently hard and he can block pretty well. So that was my main team that I brought. Nolar, any thoughts and opinions on those cards? Anything you would personally switch out if you had that or if you don't have it?
Well, so when I do my runs, I try to keep them a mix of stunning, lower attack, some damage mitigation. So, I mean, your team setup's pretty good. Some other options I use, like I brought the Dokkan Fest AGL Metal Cooler because he can go Ape too, or I guess Big Getty Star or whatever you want to say. So that also helps too. Like if you have one baby on rotation and Metal Cooler on the other one, and you get below that threshold, that could save your butt because you can get supers off and avoid all the incoming damage. So he's a good option again. And when he super attacks, when he at the end of the turn, he heals you by 7% of what was the damage you took. So he's also a really good option. Darkness Toe is really good. She's basically the extreme version of the Whis card that you get from the Hero Extermination event. But the difference is she gives, 50% attack and defense when she heals you?
Yeah, 50% attack and defense for that one turn that she heals. And just normally she gives you 30% attack and defense and 2 key, I believe, or 3 key.
Yeah, and she seals up. She doesn't seal. She lowers attack, which is
lowers
really
attack
good.
on super attack, which is really helpful. Yes.
Yeah. So, those everything's pretty good on that in terms Baby. I mean, not everyone's gonna have it. He's an LR, somewhat LR, but if you can bring him as a friend, he's probably what's gonna save you because half the stages have, Goku, Vegeta. They have Saiyans and half Saiyans, so he's gonna be outputting damage for sure. And again, he debuffs, so that's also really good.
And I do want to say that, again, when I did send my run, by the way, all my runs are going to be in the top right corner. Go and check out that playlist if you want to, guys. I, again, did not have LR Baby. I brought him as a friend, and he was very, very helpful, okay? Now, one unit I want to talk about is a free-to-play unit real quick for all of you guys who maybe need that one last little unit in there is going to be this one right here, Robot, okay? So Robot is from the free-to-play event of when Metal Cooler was released, okay? Now, he's not a high attacker or anything. He looks really weak to most people, but here's what he does. He gives all of your allies defense 50%, which is very nice, okay? And for 7 turns, he will mitigate damage by 40%, okay? So he can either be an on-rotation or off-rotation unit, and he is doing work. Not to mention he raises defense on his super attack, which is very, very helpful, okay? So if you need that one last unit in there to help you win, this guy, don't overlook him. And he's a free unit. So, no, he's actually kind of worth the orbs. So, definitely something interesting right there. Some other side units I do want to talk about real quick before we move on to the next stage is going to be the Final Form Frieza from the Namek Saga. He's a very good card. Really good. If only he would actually, seal on that medium chance on his super attack.
He doesn't seal when you want him to, and he seals when you don't need him to.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he's an attack all. He attacks all types of. He attacks everybody basically when he faces off against anyone. When facing off against 2 or more opponents, he does some decent damage. He gets attack and defense up, an extra attack and defense up 50%, and he gets 80% attack and defense just by being there. And if you happen to be facing off against one opponent in the end of something, he can have a high chance to stun them, which is pretty nice. Okay. And then this is going to be a very weird one, I think, but if you are very desperate to try and beat this and you need those last 2 slots open, one unit I can talk about, which is the free-to-play Android 18 from the Battlefield shop, okay? Now, she gets attack and defense up 100%, 18% chance to dodge, and 18% chance to crit. She raises attack on her super attack, and if she happens to have an Android 17 friend on rotation with her, then she gets an additional attack and defense up 80%, another 18% attack dodge chance, and a crit chance. Now, right off the bat, I already know a lot of people are thinking, why in the world would you try to bring in a 17? Because there's no good 17 friend, because Super 17 does not count as that. It has to be an Android 17, not Super 17, right? Well, my thought is that if these 120 leads, because Extreme Super Battle Road is pretty much saying, look, the 120 leads are going to be getting an easy A sometime soon, right?
Yep.
So with that, with Super 17 eventually going to be getting an easy A, who came along with Super Android 17? The Extreme AGL support unit Android 17, the one with the trench coat from GT.
Yes, trench coat 17.
He could work with 18 if his easy A is good enough in the future. Okay, now I do realize that's probably going to be months and months and months into the future, but if he gets a good enough easy A, he could be a good rotation with that 18, and she could be a good option for you if you needed another unit. So just keep that in mind for future times, okay? And then finally, the one I do want to talk about here is AGL Rose. We don't have his easy A yet, but it will be coming very soon. And I speculate this dude is going to be amazing at this mode. At least I hope. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he will be.
I think
again, we don't know when he's coming, but I have a good suspicion, like you, that he will be very good for Extreme Super Battle Road.
Yes, yeah. And then one last final unit I'll talk about that probably a lot of people are confused about not having on here is AGL Turles. While he does stun with his super attack, it's not exactly, he cannot tank to save his life. He really can't. Right. Okay. So if you got really lucky on your rotations and you could stun them, fine. If you get a transformation off for him where he actually is somewhat decent and has a high chance to stun after that, fine. I would not recommend bringing him though. And please, please, please do not bring Majin Vegeta, folks. LR Majin Vegeta, he's garbage on this. He is garbage on this. Do not bring him, okay?
Yeah.
All right. And then, I mean, like, the other obvious stuff you can bring along is the Rildo, you know, the AGL one who got his awakening finally. He's a good leader to bring. If you want to bring Golden Frieza, but he's garbage after 50% HP, and you know how hard these things can hit. So, you know, again, there's tons and tons and tons of options you can go with. Again, we can't name them all, but yeah. So hopefully that gives you an idea, guys, for AGL. Let's move on to the next one. All right, guys, next one is going to be the one that everyone is going to be dreading, Extreme Tech. Now, I will say this without a doubt. I think out of all of the Extreme Team ones, I think Extreme Tech is still the hardest. However, compared to some of the super stages, I think this one's easier than, say, oh, I don't know, Super AGL.
Yeah.
But we'll be getting to that in Nolar's video. Nolar will have the pleasure of doing that one. Anyway, let's talk about using Extreme Tech, okay? Again, team composition right there is exactly the same in terms of who you'll be facing off against. So a little bit of RNG luck, a little bit of bad RNG luck. You never know sometimes, okay? Anyway, let's get into Extreme Tech. Again, I've done this video already. Go and check it out in the playlist up in the top right corner of the team that I used. Okay, so here we go. This is the team that I personally used myself. I had a Golden Frieza as my main lead. And then, I used the second form Cell as my lead. But Golden Frieza was my main rotation along with the Tech Cell, because Tech Cell can heal you on your super attack, which is really, really nice. Then on the second rotation, I had another Golden Frieza that I brought as a friend, and I had the LR King Piccolo from the World Tournament. By the way, FYI, obviously, this one currently on the screen is not the Demon King Piccolo from the World Tournaments, the LR friend, because the team builder hasn't been updated, I guess, for that. So regardless, that guy was on rotation because he changes orbs, give him 5 orbs, he mitigates damage, And when you use an 18 key super attack, he greatly raises his defense for 1 turn, which is very, very helpful, okay? So again, Golden Frieza and Cell in 1 rotation, Golden Frieza and the LR King Piccolo, the new tech one from the World Tournament, on the 2nd rotation. Off rotations were as following. You had the 2nd form Cell, who just got his Awakening on JP. Easy A Zamas, because he's lowering their attack and he's very, very strong. And then Transforming Frieza. There were some rotations, though, where I had to throw Transforming Frieza on rotation and threw off, say, the King Piccolo, because everyone was just attacking at the end, and it made absolutely no sense to have Transforming Frieza take those hits, because he cannot really take a hit as well, okay? Another side note I do want to mention real quick in terms of using items is that when you are using items, you most likely have to use a Whis or Icarus at the very beginning of every single battle. Enter into a battle, activate an Icarus. Enter into the next battle, activate Whis. It's gonna have to happen. Unless you get super, super lucky on some of these stages to, like, say, have Golden Frieza literally take every single attack, then maybe you don't need to use an item. But the chances of that are very, very low, okay? Anyway, moving on. So that was the rotations that I had personally when using this team. So using those 6 units, or those main units right there, Nolar, any thoughts or opinions on them in terms of if you would change anything up?
No, based on your team comp, that's pretty much how I would run it as well. We'll get into some of the other units, but yeah, like Golden Frieza, you want 2. You want 1 in every rotation if you can. Again, like what Talon said, like sometimes all the attacks are at the end, so you put them off, you throw them off because you don't want, Cell to take a hit, or you don't want anyone else to take a hit. So yeah, ideally you want a Golden Frieza on every rotation. The Easy A Cell is really good to take because, again, he can heal on that super attack, and if you get lucky, you get double supers, which is great. Yeah, I haven't done it myself. I haven't done Extreme Tech. It's one of the last ones I got to do. But the first other unit that you don't have that came off the top of my head is the new Raditz. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, if you wanted to get on the Bardock banner and grab them, go ahead. Actually, there are people I know that specifically went in on the banner just for this Raditz to take on Extreme Super Battle Road and get really mad when they pull Go Bros or Bardocks. They want the Raditz. But anyways.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Keep going.
I was gonna say the reason why he's really good is because on a super attack has a high chance of stun. But I think that only lasts for that 1 turn.
Here's how Raditz works. Okay, so Raditz, if you guys don't know, when you're facing off against multiple opponents, okay, he guarantees the stun on whoever he's attacking for the following turn. Okay, he's got a high chance of stun on his super attack, which is really, really nice. He mitigates damage when facing off against multiple opponents. He's good. Okay, he was made for this stage. That's all. That's literally his reason for existing, is for this stage. Okay. Now in my video, I don't have him, obviously, so I'm not lucky enough to use him. So again, when you check out the video, you'll see what my rotations were and everything. Okay. Now, another unit that a lot of people are probably surprised about me not using is the LR Broly. LR Broly gets multiple super attacks off when he's facing off against multiple opponents. He's really strong. 4-turn transformation, his active skill, he's nuts, right? Definitely a very good unit. But you want to be careful with using him because, again, if you don't have an item activated or you've got 5 attacks going at him, you're going to die. He is going to die. It is pretty ridiculous with him. So definitely be careful with him. Now, I did see D-Free's video lately that he did use hits, and he got definitely lucky with hit, I will say. Hit is someone I would not recommend bringing. But again, if you've got some decent rotations like D-Free did, because again, D-Free luck, then it can be a decent option. I wouldn't recommend it, though.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with that.
And by the way, FYI, for anyone wondering why I put the Mass Sand on here, that was supposed to represent Raditz, because again, he's not in the team building part here of this particular webpage, so that's why. Another side unit that's kind of a free-to-play choice that is a little risky, but maybe would be good for you is the World Tournament Turles, the tech one. He's got a high chance of stun on his super attack, and he guarantees himself key and the attack and defense up 60%. So if you throw him off rotation, who knows? Maybe you get lucky with a stun and you're good to go, basically. So kind of a wild card there, but again, if you need that last little unit, I feel like Extreme Tech is probably going to be the one that most people just simply wait on, and you'll beat it eventually down the line because it is tough. It is tough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It is definitely challenging. I would not recommend bringing LR, Goku Black, and Zamas.
No.
I would not recommend it at all. I know some people say that you can, but I'm still going to say no. Even if you have the Tech Zamas on rotation with him, the merged one, to lower that attack. Yeah. And then unless he's getting unless you're getting super, super lucky and getting like 2 additionals every single turn, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, the downside is that he needs to get hit in order to raise his attack, and like he does not take a hit well. I mean, he's one of the few LRs that just haven't aged well. So unless you are committed to using an Icarus or a Whis every time that guy shows up, then I would not bring him.
Yep. And then a couple of side extra units you can definitely bring along as kind of a last unit if you need to. The LR Prime Cell can be decent for you. Again, throw him off rotation, but he can be decent. He does heal you. And he auto crits against lowering if you're attacking someone who has their attack lowered. And his 18 key super attack, he lowers the enemy's attack. So that can be helpful. Yeah. And then this guy can be a wild card too, the Tech World Tournament Cell. He's a support unit. He's helpful, but if he gets attacked, he's going to take a lot of damage. So hopefully he gets the same treatment that the high school Gohan just got for World Tournament. And if he picks up mitigation damage on his Awakening, definitely bring him. Definitely bring him.
Absolutely.
If he gets that. Because that World Tournament Gohan is amazing. He mitigates damage and he gets attack and defense up 58%. Absolutely amazing card. So hopefully the cell gets the same type of treatment there. So, all right. Any other tech units you'd recommend, dude, before we go on to the next one?
No, I think you hit all the big ones. So we can go move right on.
All right. So let's go on to the next one, guys. All right, guys. Next one is going to be Extreme Int. Okay. Now, Extreme Int. Actually, we're really starting to go back towards the easier side of this, I would say. Extreme Int has a lot of good options, actually, and a lot of good free-to-play options as well. So I think, I don't want to, categorize everybody, but I think a lot of people can probably beat Extreme Ints, okay? So let's go on over to the team builder side of things, okay? So here is the main team that I personally used when it came to taking on the Extreme Int side of things, okay? I took the... Okay, now this is going to sound a little weird, and I clarified it in my video if you check it out in the top right corner again. But I took the Int Kid Buu. Only because, A, I don't have my Vegeta Scouter awakened, so that's all on me. I understand that. But I wanted to see how well he would fare in the events, okay? Spoiler alert, he actually did pretty well. He was actually just fine. But again, I do recognize that I definitely got lucky on some rotations, but regardless, okay? So I took him. I took the EZA Buhan, who's a great card for this. EZA Janemba, duh. I mean, who wouldn't bring him? Int Zamas was an amazing defender for me personally. And then I brought as a friend the LR Goku Black Rose that was just introduced in year 5. Then as my off-rotation units was Kid Buu, as I mentioned beforehand. Then I took the Demon King Piccolo, the Int one from the World Tournament. Amazing card. He lowers the enemy's attack by 25%. Just for being there. Absolutely amazing card. Very, very helpful. And then finally, the EZA Metal Cooler. Okay. Definitely an amazing card right there. Okay. Raises the enemy or your allies' defense and attack and gives 2 key, which is really, really nice. So definitely very nice. Okay. So with that being said, Nolar, anything about the team that I currently just talked about? We'll talk about there's a ton of other cards to go over for Extreme Int. Yeah. Any thoughts, though, on those particular cards that I mentioned?
Those cards are good. Kid Buu is a little suspect in my opinion, but I guess it worked out for you, so can't say anything about that. Again,
I stated that in my video, guys. I even say at the very beginning of it, do not bring Kid Buu unless you have to, okay?
Yeah,
he was helpful. He was helpful, but again, I recognize it. Do not bring him though. Just.
I think the only good thing is because he healed, right? He healed on super.
He was healing and he had some decent attack, and because I had.
You had Buhan. You had Buhan rotation, right?
Yeah, I had Buhan on rotation. Yeah, so
he was off rotation. So when he linked up with Buhan, they did really well together.
They did really well together. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Plus, Rose gives 4 key as a leader to Int types. So he was only having to get 5 key instead of 6 key, which can make a difference sometimes. So, okay. So anyway, again, check out that video. You guys can go and look at it. It's really, really good and everything. All right. Tons of side options in terms of cards, though. I'm going to talk about one Nolar that you used in your video, actually, and that is the the Bobbity Boo. Yeah, Boo Bobbity, whatever you want to call him. He was a really good card for you. How do you work out?
Yeah, so to give you guys, I know not everyone has him because he's a heroes card. I said he was a fusion card because, hey, Boo and Bobbity, sure. He's a heroes, and so I'll explain what he does. On super attack, he does supreme damage, high chance of stunning the enemy. That's 50% chance. So flip a coin, he might stun. I think I had him stun 2 out of 3 times that I needed him to, so that was pretty good. So off he gets 80% defense, and then he's like one of those lever units. So if you're above 80%, all allies get 40% defense. That's really good. And then if you're below 80%, you get 40% attack, 3 key to your allies, and you recover HP. So we're gonna be below. I was a little below 80% quite often, so I got huge attack buff, and I gave key, which was needed for LR Rose. Because what I did was I put LR Rose. He was on rotation, but I forgot who he was with, but he got to 18 key a lot of the time because Bobbity, I don't know what the name is, but sure, when we were below 80%, he was buffing the heck out of Ella Rose and giving him key. So, dude, he was like MVP for me. That's what I called him. So
he was very good. He was definitely good when I watched that video of yours. All right, the obvious big one I know a lot of people are talking about, who I didn't personally bring, but again, everyone else is going to be LR Cell. He's an amazing unit. Yep. Plus, you actually get to see his transformation.
Yep, that's true.
So he's someone good to have along. Definitely a good option. Obviously, Scouter Vegeta. He's definitely the person you'd want to use as the lead if you have him. He's definitely really good. LR Bojack seems to be a pretty good blocker, so definitely bring him if you can. Another heroes unit that I know a lot of people don't have, but I've been seeing some people use, is the Superfu. Superfu from the Heroes banner. He's a pretty good card. He seals on super attack. He gets 150% attack and defense. Does immense damage. And then for every time travel category, which Extreme Int has a lot of these guys, he gets extra key and dodge chance. So that's really nice right there. And then some other free-to-play options that I've looked at is using the Int free-to-play Ginyu, the TUR. The Hell Frieza, the GT Frieza, he can stun. He mitigates damage by 30%. He's a support unit. Very, very good option to have. LR Metal Cooler Army, he definitely is pretty good to bring along because of an off-rotation type guy, but definitely really good. And then he's not free to play, obviously, but Golden Frieza can lower the enemy's attack just by being there, so that's definitely really helpful. Any other things that I've missed in terms of like big units you'd recommend?
Not big ones. There are some smaller ones. It's gonna be. I'm gonna mention a couple, and it's gonna be super rare if you even have them. But the SSR General Blue might be good.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because he has a 70% chance to stun, which is good. But the thing is, you wouldn't want to put him on rotation because he has no defense. But his passive skill, though, gives you a medium chance. What is medium chance? 30%? 25%.
25%.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, that all enemies attack is -20. So that's kind of too RNG to bring. I mean, again, I don't know if anybody has him because he came out during a Raleigh, which was like years ago, and he hasn't been back since.
Yeah.
But the stunning 7% chance to stun, I mean, it might be worth it. Like the extreme int units have a lot of chance to like lower attack, debuff, and stun. So you've got a lot of options there. Like Baby, I think Baby lowers attack too, right?
Yeah,
the int one.
Yep.
And that might be good because he can go ape, but he might go ape at the wrong time when you're at full health. when you rather want to go ape when you're super low. But I mean that's an option too. Can't take a hit, but that's another option.
Yep.
Yeah. There's quite a bit. What would you bring Angel Golden Frieza?
I've seen him used, but off rotation because he lowers the enemy's attack by being there. So
yeah.
It's more if you're bringing like the Scouter Vegeta and the LR Cell, because that's 8 key right there already for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to worry about the key for him really. So he's more of a risk reward type thing though. So again, to each his own, I would say. So
Well, I mean,
All
yeah,
right.
he does debuff the enemy attack, and then but he can't really take a hit because he only gets 50% defense. So yeah, as an off rotating unit, he would be
Yep,
pretty
definitely has an
decent.
off rotation unit, and so you have to wait and see.
All right, cool.
All right, cool guys. Let's go on to the next one. All right, guys, we are on the fourth team right now, and what I would personally call the easiest of the Extreme Super Battle Road stages, and that is, of course, using Extreme STR. Nolar, you've beaten this one before, haven't you?
Yeah, but I kind of handicapped myself. So if you guys saw that video, I was sweating bullets quite a bit. But it is easy when you take the right units. And
Yes.
Talon, you can go ahead and tell them what the right units are.
Okay, so here we go, folks. This is what you're going to be bringing. Your MVP for this entire event is going to be STR Omega Shenron EZA. This dude, he makes it so easy. He makes it so easy. He lowers the enemy's attack by 40% just by being there. He's awesome.
Yep.
He is awesome. Okay. So anyway, in the top right corner, you're gonna be seeing this is a no item run that I did with Extreme STR. And funny enough, Super STR is one of the few stages that you can be done for no item as well for all you no item fanatics out there. Anyway, here's the rotations that I personally went with. I went with an STR Omega Shenron and the STR EZA Cell because when facing off against multiple opponents, Cell does lower enemies' attack by 20%. So that's 60% attack lowered on them right there. That's really nice, okay? Then on the second rotation, I had the Friend Omega, and I brought the STR Rose because he lowers attack by 20% just by being there. So that's, again, another 60%. Really, really nice, okay? Then off rotation, I had Android 21 because when she super attacks, she heals and she does lower the lowers their attack, which is really, really nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the lowering the attack is when you attack somebody, but the super attack is what heals them. My bad. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but then when she transforms, her super attack lowers attack.
Yep, and she heals automatically, so it flip-flops
and,
essentially.
Yeah.
So she was an off-rotation unit, which is really nice because she gives herself ki. So, if you lower the attack on that one opponent that was attacking her, it was really helpful. Next is going to be the STR Majin Vegeta EZA because he provides orbs. He transforms AGL orbs into STR orbs. He greatly raises his attack and defense for one turn. If he gets a double, he's taking double-digit damage. He was actually fairly helpful and was definitely really good. And finally is the World Tournament Majunior, aka Piccolo. He lowers the enemy's attack just by being there by 20%. He has a medium chance to stun them when he attacks them for that turn, and he can be very, very helpful there. He can go ape too, but I didn't really care about that personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, this team just so easy. So easy. Any comments, Nolar?
Yeah, I mean, you want you have your own Omega either as a lead or in the team, and then take a friend Omega because you want one in every rotation because it's having a Whis every rotation. So, like, why wouldn't you? Yeah, your no item run was good. My run took all 8 items, but it was something else. Let me just explain what I ended up doing. So I took the Fat Boo, the full power Fat Boo.
Full power Fat Boo.
Instead of Majin Vegeta because he fulfilled the same role of provide orbs, but then he attacks all, so I threw him off rotation, and he has a chance to like stun people, which I think he stunned a couple of people. But if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely take Majin Vegeta over him, especially because his EZA is that good. I didn't take the World Tournament with Junior. I took the Team King Piccolo, the S tier one that came out with the Kid Goku. Okay. And the reason why is he on super attack he greatly lowers attack. So
oh, nice. Okay.
So that worked out a little bit there. Yeah, that's pretty much the only biggest difference because I took 21 as well. I took S tier Cell, linked him up with Omega. So yeah, again, I could have done it a bit better. Like there are a lot of other options, right? Like let's see, you could take Cooler, S tier Cooler. You could throw him off rotation.
Amazing. Yeah, throw him off rotation. He lowers attack. He lowers their attack on super attack. You can transform him against the Sands if you want to. He does amazing damage, auto crits, all that stuff.
Yeah, so like he's another option.
Yep. LR Zomus and Goku's body is actually a decent option. He's free to play, so he's definitely good to have there. Janimba's fine. I threw him off rotation though on one of my runs. I took Janimba, but as a friend, I would say, because I couldn't find another Omega friend. But you can run Janimba if you want to. He doesn't block as well. It just shows you how much better the int one is.
Yeah. Huge difference.
Some free to play options. You can bring the Android 13 who got a Dokkan Awakening. He's decent. Just again off rotation. Then Jace can be another one because he shows you where the super attacks are and he's a support unit. Again, a little risky because he can get hits, but if you've given him all dodge, you maybe get lucky on a certain run. So you never know. If you need to replace Cooler, STR boost fine. He lowers attack just like Cooler does. Just obviously not as awesome.
Yeah, he's not as good.
But he's a little risky. But he can transform. Maybe you get that Piccolo transformation and he could actually be decently good. And then Hit, obviously, with his Awakening is very, very good. So definitely someone you can want to consider there as well. So,
yeah, especially because he raises defense on his super. So off-rotating unit, raising defense, that means he's not going to take that much damage, which is great.
Exactly. And there's a bunch of other options. I saw Nano take full power LR Frieza if you want to. Throw him off rotation. He was working really well. If you want to bring the free-to-play Frieza and King Cold or the LR OG Frieza, they lower attack on super attacks, so he's definitely really helpful. Do not bring LR Broly.
No, don't bring Broly. I tried it. Don't bring him.
Do it. Just don't do it, all right? I beg of you, do not do it, all right?
Well, in that turn, the Easy 8 STR Broly might be decent.
Could be decent. Yes, he could be decent. I haven't personally tried him out yet.
He does raise his defense, so...
Yeah.
But still, it's a little risky though.
Don't bring the LR. Just don't do it.
Yeah, the LR is not. The LR's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Just don't do it. Okay. All right, guys. Let's go on to the final team, which is physical. All right, guys, and here we are with the final team now. Extreme physical. Okay, and FYI, Cooler is still the best 120 lead in the game. Vegeta is second. AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is second. Cooler will always be first. He gets double attacks. He has big bad bosses. He's better, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, let's go on to the team building as we piss all the SHA4 Vegeta fans off. So, all right, here is what I personally went with when it came to this particular run. Okay. So I brought Cooler as my lead, obviously, because he's my best physical lead that I had. I brought Omega Shenron, who went on rotation with him because he lowers the enemy's attack by 20% just by being there. Okay. Then on the other rotation, I had the transforming Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I brought a friend, LR Broly, the LR Broly, Chilai, and Lemon. Okay. Then off rotation, and sometimes on rotation, depending on how bad the rotation was, I would have the Physical Goku Black Easy A, which global, when you guys get this, is going to be a lot even better because he gives +3 ki to his allies, which is really, really nice. And then I brought a little treasure right here, and it is Evil Boo. Now, Evil Boo is an SR that awakened into an SSR, technically you are. He lowers the enemy's attack by 20% just by being there. He has a medium chance to dodge, and he seals on super attack. Him plus Omega plus Cooler was perfect. Nothing happened, basically, unless I got like triple super attacked. But overall, he was a very, very good unit to have on there, and it worked out really extremely well. Very, very good unit. Don't underestimate him, okay? He was a very, very good unit, and I loved having him, okay? And then my final card that I had on rotation was actually this Boo, the support physical Boo, but I do recognize that a lot of people don't have him. But he would become the leader to use, though, when he gets his Awakening, because he's going to be 4 ki and 120%. So bring him, still bring Cooler, that kind of thing would work right there. All right, before we get into other options, Nolar, any comments on it?
No, I pretty much used the same team you did. The only difference was I didn't take the support 40% Boo, the one that doesn't have an Awakening. I took Thouser, the Awakened Thouser that came with SGR Cooler.
Yeah, I brought him in a rotation as well, or a turn one time. He did actually very well off rotation. Yeah,
because for those who don't know, he does supreme damage and lowers the enemy attack and defense on super. Then the passive skill is 30% per Terrifying Conquerors category ally, which at least I had 2.
Yep.
So that was decent. But then the thing is, he can launch he launches 2 additional attacks, each with a rare chance of becoming a super if you have Cooler on the team, which you obviously have Cooler on the team. So the potential to do like 3-4 supers that lower attack, yeah, that was too much.
It was
that was
very
too good to pass
helpful.
up.
Yep, it was very helpful.
And then I think the only other difference, I had DBS Broly with the LR, Broly, Cheetah, and Lemo. I think that's it in terms of the only difference between our runs. But there are a lot of other options you can bring.
Yep.
And we'll get into that now.
All right, so obviously one decent option is the LR Android 17, 18 that switch into 16. They lower enemies' attack on their super attack, and they have a chance to dodge, actually, if their HP is 66% or above, which is decently good. And then depending on what units you potentially bring, you can maybe even exchange 16, but it's kind of a rare chance to. I haven't personally used them yet, but I could possibly see LR Cell and Cell Juniors being decent, but be careful, I would say.
Yeah, the only thing, they can't get hit. I mean, the 12 to 17 key heals, so that's good. And you get 1 key and 10% attack per enemy. So more enemies, Super Battle Road, more attack. They can be good, but I didn't personally take them.
Yeah, I personally didn't take them, but I can see him maybe as an off-rotation type thing.
Yeah.
Another unit that can be very, very helpful, but I recognize a lot of people don't have, is going to be the Super Saiyan Kamba. Okay?
Yep.
The Ape one, because when he attacks, he has a high chance to stun the enemy, which is pretty crazy. All right.
No, it's not when he attacks. When he gets attacked. When
he gets attacked. And then when he super attacks, he greatly lowers their attack. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he can be a cheat code because you basically put him in slot 1, let him get hit once, and then he has a chance to stun everybody. Yep. And then if whoever's still attacking, you just super that person. And
so. Exactly. So it can be pretty crazy. It can be pretty crazy. So again, I didn't use him on my first video because I recognize a lot of people don't have him. But if you do have him, use him. He's a cheat code basically. So another decent option potentially, again, this is a very big potentially, is going to be the free-to-play Golden Frieza, because every time that he gets attacked, he will get more defense. And then he is a support unit to movie bosses, which some of that team is movie bosses. And then he mitigates damage by 30%. So he can be a decent off-rotation option if you need to. But other than that, that's basically the main ones that I used. There are some other options you can use, like the GT Frieza, because on his super attack, he, I think, stuns or seals. He has a medium chance to stun, so that's not bad. But again, I'd probably keep him off rotation, if anything. One thing I do want to mention, though, real quick for all of these is that for units like maybe the Baba Shop Nappa or something, hopefully they will get an EZA and they will actually be useful. They could be definitely very useful in this, but it's hard to say as of right now. But who knows? Maybe down the line, he could definitely be a good option to use right there. But yeah, that's about all the units I can really think about for physical. Anything else you want to recommend or?
Well, a couple questions. Would you say full power Frieza? Because he does in slot 1, he gets that extra defense boost, but is that enough?
I would say if you're lucky on your rotations, full power Frieza can be a decent option because he's easy aid. Just be careful. I'd say be careful, if anything. Definitely be careful.
Yeah, probably have to use an item when he's on rotation.
Yeah, I would say, I definitely say he's a decent option, but be careful with using him. So.
Yeah, the boos, the super boo, not the support one, but the
World Tournament one.
Is that the World Tournament one? I think that is the World Tournament one. Yeah, he's maybe okay because he's basically a nuker, but he does lower attack. So like 10%
he lowers attack
defense.
and he heals. He heals
with
the orbs that he gets.
It's an option, not the best option, but it is an option.
Okay. And one last final unit I'll talk about is this OG Super Saiyan Vegeta, the one that we all hate pulling on banners. When he attacks somebody, he lowers their attack by 40%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're lucky on your rotations and he doesn't have to take a hit, lower the enemy's attack by 40%. That's very, very helpful right there. So.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, for the friend unit, if you don't have LR Broly, Chila and Lemo, try to bring a friend because 7 key or more, they dodge everything.
Auto dodges everything.
Yeah. And so, like, if you get super lucky, get 7 key, maybe it's 7 strength key spheres, so everyone gets that attack buff, and then you're dodging everything and you're buffing everyone. Like, it can be a little tricky because it's 7, but
right. It's a
shit.
win-win.
If he gets an easy A, like that'll be like 6 key spheres. Something like that. But anyways, just talking out of my butt now.
Okay. Anyway, guys, so there we go. We have covered all of the extreme teams. Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Which is the hardest and which is the easiest for you, and which of these stages have you defeated, or will you need to wait on for more characters to come out? So anyway, guys, again, part 2 will be over on Nolar's channel. Go ahead and check it out. We'll be covering all the super stages. And yeah, other than that, we will see you guys all in the next one. Again, don't forget to head over to Nolar's channel. Hit that sub button as always. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe to both of our channels if you happen to be new. Until next time, everyone, I will see you all in the next one.
Later, guys.